450 of the top gymnasts in the United States, pound for pound. Some of the toughest athletes in the world are in Oklahoma City tonight for the 2006 USA Gymnastics Junior Olympic National Championships.
Welcome back to another edition of Gymnastics USA. I'm Shannon Miller. Tonight we start the first in a two-part series on the U.S. Women's Junior Olympic National Championships. Now, these are level 10 gymnasts that are just one notch below the highest level in gymnastics, known as elite. But the competition level here is still very high. In fact, 2004 Olympic team members Taryn Humphrey and Courtney McCool both competed at this meet years ago. Also on tonight's show, 1984 gold medalist Bart Connor gives us a more in-depth perspective on level 10 gymnastics. That's our Inside Story segment. Want to be good on the bars? I'll show you some release moves that will improve your score in our Essential Gymnastics segment. We have an exciting show ahead of us tonight. Bart Connor joins me for the U.S. Women's Junior Olympic National Championships when we come back.
Welcome everybody to Oklahoma City and the Cox Arena and Convention Center for the 2006 Junior Olympic Women's National Championships. In these Junior Olympics, there are 450 gymnasts competing, representing 8 regions of the United States. They'll be awarding national titles in the all-around and team competition as well. Tori Ganter will be up first. She's a 12-year-old out of Waukesha, Wisconsin. She trains at Salto's Gymnastics. And her coach, by the way, Jim Chudy, has already coached. World medalist Chelsea Memel won a gold medal on the uneven bars in 2003 and a silver in 2005.
Great bar worker. She starts off big with her first release move, a reverse hecht. We're going to see a lot of big skills during this competition, but we're also going to be looking at form. This is the point in time where these gymnasts are really looking to kind of start cleaning up their form. They've got the tricks, they've got the moves, they just need to keep it clean. Nice landing. Good job.
The athletes in today's competition range between 10 and 13 years of age. Some of these young ladies might make the bump up to the elite level and try for the national team.
Here we see a replay of the dismount. Nice high double tuck dismount, and she nails the landing.
9-1-2-5 for Tori Ganter. And first up will be Allison Iovino, the 13-year-old from Olney, Maryland. She trains at Hills Gymnastics with Kelly Hill and Jen Bundy. They have created many national team members, Olympians, and Olympic medalists.
Another one of my teammates, Dominique Dawes, of course, out of that program. Balance beam, always the tough event, trying to stay on that little 4-inch wide piece of wood. And the judges here are looking for a lot of confidence. They want to see you attack the balance beam just like Allison is doing right there with her first front aerial series. And that's what you call a flight series. She, of course, will get a little bit of a deduction for that knee bend on that back leg.
She seems very aggressive in her performance. I like that.
I do. I like that a lot. That's what you have to have in order to get up there and stay on the beam. You have to be aggressive. You have to really take charge.
Now we'll see competition on all the women's equipment. Some think it's lucky to start on the beam. Some think it's unlucky. Did you prefer to start on the beam, or was that an advantage for you?
I prefer to not start or end on the balance beam. I like to kind of cream it, put it in between, so I didn't have to worry about it too much. Finishing off with a nice 1.5 twist, a forward landing. Very tough to stick, but she does a nice job. Here's her flight series back handspring layout step out. Little back leg bend, which knocks her off to the side just a bit. Maybe a temp deduction.
Jen Bundy liked it. 9.35 for Allison Iovino in her first event here. From Orlando Metro Gymnastics, the 13-year-old Janelle Portuondo, originally out of Miami, Florida, now living and training in Central Florida with Jeff Wood and his terrific team of coaches at Orlando Metro.
On the floor exercise, obviously the judges are looking for the strict requirements, but they want to see a good performance. Can they really engage the audience, engage the judges, and go out there and perform the skills? Opening up with a nice high double pike. And this is a great routine so far. She looks like she's really having fun.
For many of these gymnasts, this is the biggest national meet they have attended. Level 10 is sort of the stepping stone to the elite level. And this meet contains several athletes who look like they might be able to step it up to that elite international level and make a run for the national team. Others will opt to go for college scholarships.
And both routes are fantastic. Good tumbling pass right there. Some front tumbling. There's her forward salto. She's already got her backward salto down.
Many of these gymnasts at 12, 13 years old have already been doing gymnastics for as many as 10 years.
Yes, they have. And, you know, you can see it in these skills. Oh, she barely pulls out that double tuck at the end. Get a little winded towards the end.
Nice presentation by Janelle Portuondo out of Florida.
Very good job. Great presentation, great energy throughout the routine, and that's something the college coaches look for too. Floor exercise is big for college gymnastics. Nice opening double pike, very clean landing.
And a score 9.15 for Janelle Portuondo. More gymnastics in a minute.
Welcome back to Gymnastics USA. I'm Shannon Miller. We'll continue our coverage of the 2006 U.S. Women's Junior Olympic National Championships in just a minute. Right now, it's time for our Inside Story. Bart Connor explains how this event affects the decisions of these young athletes as they plan for their future. Over 400 girls are competing at the U.S. Junior Olympic Women's National Championship. They are level 10 athletes, which in the gymnastics world is the second highest level you can achieve. But the second highest doesn't mean second rate.
We'll see routines that are every bit the quality that you'll see at the World Championships or the Olympics. And these are from young athletes that haven't yet made a name. The good thing about the Level 10 Nationals is you might be able to say, hey, I saw her just before she made it to the big time. That's how good they are.
With millions of kids doing gymnastics in the United States, making it to level 10 or elite status is very difficult. Those who do make it are truly the best in America and maybe the world.
We're really blessed in this country that we have so many talented clubs, so many talented coaches, and so many talented kids. There are about 4 million kids in the United States doing gymnastics, and these are 450 of the best. So we're really looking at world-class athletes.
For many of these girls, their performance in tonight's event will decide their future in the sport.
One of the interesting things about the Level 10 Nationals, there'll be 150 NCAA college coaches here recruiting because this is the prime ground to get the best collegiate athletes. So this is really, for many kids, it's a decision point. Are they going to step it up and try for that elite level where there's just very few spots? In fact, to make the world or Olympic team, only 6 young ladies make it. Out of 4 million kids in the United States, only 6 make it to this level. This is the juncture where these young gymnasts have to make a decision. Are they going to try for that super level, or are they going to go to the collegiate ranks or stay at level 10?
This is an important meet for these junior Olympic gymnasts. Many of them are at a juncture whether they're going to try to go for the elite program in the Olympic level or whether they're going to stay at level 10. An important, challenging day for these young ladies. Competition continues here in the first of 4 rotations. 34 of the best judges in the country on hand to judge these athletes. Sarah Persinger out of Charlotte, North Carolina now, the 13-year-old. And Shannon, she is good.
She is incredible. That's a big first tumbling pass. Front summy through to a triple twist. That's a lot of twisting to get in. And I am just amazed at these 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. They look so confident out there already at this young age.
Sarah is coached by a pair of Russian coaches, Lyudmila Shobi and Nikolai Churchin.
Very nice. She's really paying attention to detail. If you watch her toe point throughout, you're not seeing a lot of flexed feet.
Spoke with her mother, Kathy, the other day, and she said she drops Sarah off at the gym at 8 in the morning and picks her up at 7 p.m. in the evening. Sarah does one training, then they go to one of the gymnast homes for homeschooling, and then they go back for their second training nearly every day of the week. What a commitment to make it at this level in gymnastics.
So much dedication, and you can tell the work is paying off.
Sarah Persinger. She says the 2008 Olympics in Beijing is one of her goals.
Well, she's got a great start. This is a great competition, and what a fantastic way to perform this routine and end it with a bang. That nice stuck landing with the forward tumbling pass.
9.325 for Sarah Persinger. To the balance beam now, Leah Del Priori from Center Valley, Pennsylvania, the 13-year-old who trains at the famous Parkettes National Training Center in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
I like that she started her routine with a press mount. You don't see that a lot anymore these days. You have to pack so many skills into a balance beam routine in under 1 minute and 30 seconds that it's difficult to take that time to do a press to handstand.
Her coaches at the Parkettes are, of course, Bill and Donna Strauss, Robin Netwall, John Holman.
The surf flight series by handspring layout, step out, a very common flight series.
For more than 40 years, the Parkettes program has been contributing athletes to the, unlucky.
Very unlucky. The beam got another one. That's a side aerial. I think she was trying for a side summy and just was not able to get her foot all the way on the beam.
I mentioned how strong the Parkettes program is. Hundreds of athletes from the Parkettes have gone on to get collegiate scholarships and full rides to major universities all over the country. And, of course, they have produced Olympians. Most notable, Kristen Maloney, the 2000 Olympian.
Finishing off with a double twist dismount. Very tough to get back up after a fall off the beam.
What is the mindset when you fall? Do you get mad? Do you get aggressive?
You get mad, you get frustrated, and then you have to kind of put all of it aside.
Leah Del Priori, 8.875. Our first vaulter from Oklahoma, Kiera Glover, the 12-year-old from Edmond.
My hometown girl, Yurchenko, tuck full twist, and she gets some good distance out of that horse.
A lot of fans in the crowd here. More than 4,000 tickets sold this weekend for the Junior Olympics.
She bends her knees a little early getting onto the horse, which loses some of that power getting off.
Brittany Harris now from Kraft Academy of Gymnastics up in Tulsa.
Another Yurchenko, she does it with a layout full twist. Another nice landing. These girls are throwing some skills.
They are. They'll be doing 2 vaults in this competition. We're just showing the best of the 2. The highest of the 2 scores count towards their all-around total. Here is Petra Matthews, the 12-year-old from Millis, Massachusetts. Shannon, she has it all.
She does. She is so incredible. It's such a package, and you can look at her legs. She is a powerful gymnast, but she is excellent on uneven bars as well.
You see her coach standing in there. He is Mihai Breștean, who has coached several top athletes, including the reigning world champion on the floor, Alicia Sacramone.
And she's so tiny, she can get around those bars pretty easy. Nice, tight, tuck double front. Very clean throughout her bar set. She's able to keep her legs together, keep that form going. That's going to help her get a higher score.
9.425, not a bad start for little Petra Matthews. She is one solid muscle.
Keegan Johnson, the 13-year-old from West Chicago, Illinois, is next.
Open up strong with a nice double pipe.
She trains at the Midwest Academy of Gymnastics with Marco Bravo. The club is in Warrenville, Illinois.
And there's one of those dance series that we were talking about earlier. They want to get these twists around a full 360 degrees to get credit for these moves. handspring full twist front layout. She's able to stay in bounds.
It really is at about this age where you can start telling whether these young ladies have the potential for the international level, can't you?
You really can. And I think it's a point where the girls start finding out for themselves what route they want to take. Do I want to go more the college route? Do I want to stay in the elite route and try for the national and international teams? So it's a great place to be and a wonderful competition for these girls to get that experience. Closing out a very nice floor routine and an exciting ending.
Keegan Johnson, West Chicago, Illinois, level 10 competitor here in these Junior Olympics.
Good presentation throughout the routine. A little bit messy on the feet, the landings. Those things can be cleaned up. You know, right now it's important that they're getting the skills in. They're trying new skills during these competitions, making sure that they're setting themselves up for the future. Ending pass, nice high double tuck, and she is happy about that routine.
And a 9.25 for Keegan Johnson.
We'll be back with the conclusion of rotation 1 right after this. Welcome back to Oklahoma City for the 2006 Junior Olympic Women's National Championships. We are continuing our coverage in rotation 1.
Back in the Cox Arena here, Alicia Musser getting ready to go on the vault. Shannon, she's one of the favorites here.
She is terrific athlete. Yurchenko, beautiful layout full. Such great form in the air, legs nice and tight together. I think she even pointed her toes.
She's the 13-year-old out of the Colorado Aerials program that we mentioned, the top qualifier coming into this competition. She really has enormous potential.
She does, and she's got that longer body that gives her a great line. The judges love it.
9.575, great start for Alicia Musser. This is Casey Gassaway out of Vancouver, Washington. She's also just 13. Began gymnastics at 5 years of age.
Starting off the beautiful planche. Important to hold that for 2 seconds.
Her mom started her in gymnastics looking for a way to tire her out. I know a lot of kids have the same story. Their parents were looking for a way to burn energy. Well, it hasn't worked so far, but she has really exploded onto the national scene.
And she is working hard to save that skill. Back handspring, nice high tuck, and I'm sure one day that's going to turn into a full twist. So important to keep your hips and weight over the balance beam in order to stay on it.
Interesting story about Casey. 5 kids in the family. In her first recreational gym class, the coach said he would give anybody who could climb a rope a candy bar. Well, Casey, of course, was the first one to the top before she realized that she didn't know how to get down. But she did get the chocolate, and now she's competing for national titles.
What a girl won't do for chocolate. Judges looking at these leaps, wanting to see a 180-degree split in each of those. A nice forward dismount, punch front full. She's pretty happy with that routine. Staying on is always a good thing.
She did show good fight throughout. Erica Bakash, one of her coaches out there at Nadenoff Gymnastics, along with Dmitry Taskov.
Here we take a look at that first series, and she could have gone off real big here, and she was able to keep her hips over the beam, settle down, and keep it on. Said we're going to see a lot of interesting dismounts. Here's one. Nice punch front full.
Not a bad start for Casey Gassaway, 9.075. Watch out for this young lady, Jordan Weber. She's just 10 out of DeWitt, Michigan, and she can do it all.
Open it up with a full twisting double back. She's got some power behind her.
She'll be 11 years old on July 12th. She's coached by John and Kathy Gettert at Twistars Gymnastics in Dimondale, Michigan.
So powerful, not just in her tumbling, but even in the height in her leaps and jumps. Punch front. This is a great routine. Very clean. lean, but man, she's got some power.
She hopes to continue gymnastics to the international level. Someday dreams of being in the Olympics, and she also wants to go to college and compete perhaps in Michigan for Michigan or Michigan State. She's just 10.
She's just 10. She's got a lot of goals, a lot of big dreams. And the great thing about gymnastics is she can probably follow both those dreams at the same time, especially with the way you can do special events these days and just compete vault or just compete floor and still do college gymnastics.
She did that double backflip, didn't even end up in the corner. She doesn't even need the whole diagonal.
Doesn't even need the whole floor. And she doesn't even look winded at the end of her floor routine. Imagine she has a great future in this sport ahead. Terrific tumbling, clean landings. She does have it all.
We're seeing some enormous potential here at these Junior Olympic National Championships. Perhaps the next Shannon Miller on the way, you never know. Little 10-year-old Jordan Weber with a 9.65.
We've come to the end of rotation 1. When we come back, Shannon will show us release moves on the bars in the Essential Gymnastics segment.
Welcome back to another edition of Essential Gymnastics. We're going to head over to the uneven bars and take a closer look at some of the high-flying release moves being performed today. With me here today from Parkettes Gymnastics in Allentown, Pennsylvania, are Paige and Amber. And they're going to help demonstrate some of the most exciting moves being competed on the uneven bars today. These are release moves, where the gymnast will let go of the bar, do a flip or a twist, and regrasp the bar. You guys ready to go? Ready. Paige is performing a ginger, a back flip with a half turn before catching the bar. Amber's going to show us a Takacha. She's going to throw the bar backward and fly up and over the bar before regrasping. Now we know a little bit more about release moves and what they look like. Join us again next week for another tip on Essential Gymnastics. Now let's get back to the show.
Thank you, Shannon, for the tips on release moves. And let's continue now in rotation 2.
Just before the commercial break, we saw Jordan Weber with that terrific 9.65 on the floor. That has launched her into first place after one of 4 events here. You see the top 6. The top 3 separated by just 1/10 of a point. To the bars now, Kiera Glover from Edmond, Oklahoma. She's coached by Dennis and Shannon Harrison at Dynamo Gymnastics. Program you're familiar with, Shannon?
Very familiar with. In fact, Shannon coached me on balance beam during the 2000 Olympic trials. Huge reverse hecht, almost too big, just slips right off that bar.
Looks like she's okay. Usually when you fall, you lose a half a point and you have to continue your exercise from where you fell.
And as we've mentioned before, it's always tough to get up after a fall, but that was such a beautiful reverse hecht, a lot of height.
Nice technique. Let's see if she'll go for it again.
Very risky to do that, but looks like she's setting up for it. Nice, and this time she catches it perfectly. She's in trouble again. We could see her right hand just slip down the bar and looked like she was going to recover, but just wasn't able to get that momentum around the bar to get up and over.
Tricky combination, that shoot half to handstand right into the stalder. That's tough to do.
It is, and I think she probably would have been okay if she just had a kip or a glide out of it, but she went right into that next big skill. She's not happy about that.
That's one of the things about gymnastics at this level. You have to complete the exercise.
And it's unfortunate because she really has a great bar routine, a lot of big skills, finishing off the nice high double tuck.
Her technique is terrific. This is her favorite event, but what an unlucky turn of circumstances for young Kiera Glover.
And, you know, it's always tough for something like that to happen at a national championships, but at the same time, if you look at the broad scheme of things, it's good to be trying these skills now when she's young and getting this experience, because I guarantee you the next competition she's in, she's going to be thinking about this, and she's not going to want to fall on these two moves. Right there, just a little bit off to the right.
And a 7.95 for Kiera Glover of Edmond, Oklahoma. To Petra Matthews now. The 12-year-old, now she's on the beam.
She just seems so confident and so solid.
Oh my God.
You can even see her stomach muscles through her leotard. I mean, this girl is in shape.
This is the type of potential when you talk about going to the elite level. Look at that, 2 layouts in a row, very aggressive.
And what's really scary is that was my balance beam series at the Olympic Games. And here she is, so young, doing it perfectly.
She'll be 13 at the end of May. Her father, a software engineer, her mother, a Pilates instructor. Maybe that's where she gets that ripped abs from.
Maybe so. Nice combination. Front semi straight to a back semi. Keeping that aggressiveness throughout the routine. Now, we've seen a little bit of flexed feet in there, so she'll definitely have to work on that. But otherwise, she really has the confidence down. And that's something that you really can't learn. That's something that you just have. Amazing dismount. Punch double front. Nails the landing.
That is hard to do. Sylvia Brestian, her balance beam coach, liked it.
What a tremendous athlete. Here's this series front semi, straight to a back semi. Solid as a rock. And here's this dismount. Incredible punch, tuck double front. Great landing. It's a blind landing, tough to do.
9.55 for Petra Matthews. Uneven bars will be next. Asi Peko will be up. We spoke with her coach, Cassie Rice, about the strength of the U.S. program.
When we go internationally, we are very strong everywhere, and that kind of started after the 2000 games with 2001 and building all the way through, because I was part of the 2000 to 2004 era with Tasha, and we just kept getting stronger and stronger, going to competitions and winning more and more and more. And that had to do a lot with a centralized, organized training system where we bring the country together and kind of compare notes and get a national system of how we are expected to look. When you have those expectations and standards and you have to meet them at the training camp, I think that helped us around the world to live up to a higher standard.
Cassie Rice, of course, coached Tasha Schweikert, the Olympian in 2000 and then former NCAA all-around champion at UCLA. Here is 11-year-old Asi Peko from Henderson, Nevada.
Setting up, you can see her coach move in for her first big release move. Right here, nice high ginger. That's a back flip with a half twist to catch the bar.
You see the coach moving the mat under the bars. He is Gabriel Ciobanu, Romanian coach who lives and coaches in Las Vegas these days.
Good routine, good dismount at the end. Very difficult, full twisting double back. Just extra cushion of that 8-inch mat. Makes it a little tougher to stick the landings, but she holds on pretty well.
A few tips from Coach Gabi Ciobanu and a relieved Asi Peko with a 9.475. Brittany Harris out of Craft Academy in Tulsa, ready for the bars.
One of the nice things on an EVA bars about being a taller gymnast is you get a really nice line that the judges like.
Shannon, you mentioned at the top of the show that her father, Steve Harris, former NBA star and University of Tulsa Hall of Fame basketball player. Height might be an issue for her as she gets a little older.
It definitely will. The coaches are already thinking it is, but right now you couldn't tell the difference. She is doing a fantastic job. Great bar routine.
Jean-Luc Caron, Olympian from France, who now lives and coaches in Tulsa with Christy Kraft. Happy happy with her performance there, lacking some difficulty in that routine.
Lacking a little bit of difficulty. She did get her flight move in. She did a reverse hex. She got a nice double tuck dismount in, but you can tell with the score that it was lacking in a bit of difficulty.
To the floor now from Bogey's Gym Nest in West Virginia. Here is Kayla Williams from that powerful Region 7 program, which includes, of course, athletes from Parkettes and Hills and River City.
Opening up strong, a nice clean double pike, legs together, very straight. 2.5 twist. A lot of times those girls will use the 2.5 to set up for a punch front or punch front full out later down the line.
The drums only music. What do you think of that?
You know, it is powerful, and you know, you just got to have the tumbling to back it up, and so far she has.
I mentioned she's from Region 7, which includes Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., Virginia, and West Virginia. There are 8 regions in the United States within the USA Gymnastics format. Region 7 typically very strong.
And the competition between these regions can get pretty heated as well.
It's one of the nice aspects of this event is many of these gymnasts compete against each other for their private clubs throughout the year, but when they come to the Junior Olympic Nationals, they are essentially an all-star, and it builds a little team spirit and camaraderie.
Well, I think she did okay with this drum music, and these stuck landings were incredible. Here she does a closing last pass and doesn't even bother to take the step that she's allowed, just sticks it.
Looking for a good score here on the floor for Kayla Williams. There it is, 9.425. She's off to a terrific start. This is Megan Marengi. She trains in Plano, Texas at the famous World Olympic Gymnastics Academy, otherwise known as WOGA, with Valerie Liukin, former Olympic champion.
Of course, Carly Patterson, the current Olympic champion, came from this club. A lot of attention to detail. Look how tight her legs are together, toes pointed, body line is perfect. Very clean. Of course, the judges looking for those handstands, looking for those angles.
Really nice swing technique.
Good technique. That's one of the things that WOGA focuses on, is good technique and attention to detail. And it's going to pay off in the score.
All right, she's lacking a little bit in terms of a high-flying release move, but you can see an enormous amount of potential for Megan Marengi.
Absolutely. And where you're missing in a little difficulty, you make it up in the cleanliness of the routine.
9.175.
We'll be back with more of Rotation 2 right after this.
The Star.
Oklahoma City, the International Gymnastics Federation is based in Switzerland, but the only International Gymnastics Hall of Fame is right here in Oklahoma City. It's a world-class collection of books, videos, sculptures, paintings, and the history of gymnastics in downtown Oklahoma City. Now, Shannon Miller was inducted into the International Hall of Fame in a glamorous ceremony last night.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Oklahoma's own, our 2006 inductee, Ms. Shannon Miller.
We want to thank Chairman and CEO of Kerr-McGee, Luke Corbett, for being the presenting sponsor.
It's just so amazing being here tonight and throughout the dinner watching these videos of all these incredible athletes, and to be up here being inducted into the same group as they are, it's truly an honor.
Nearly 400 gymnastics dignitaries from all over the world in Oklahoma City for this spectacular occasion. Congratulations, Shannon.
Thank you very much. It was an exciting evening.
Now Lucy Meyer out of Flips Gymnastics in Minnesota. She's coached by Bart and Lori Ruskoski and Shelley Kringen.
Getting her full turn requirement in. Some nice leap passes. beautiful layout to 2 feet, gorgeous. Now, she had a pretty long pause before there, and I don't think the judges are going to deduct, but you do have about a 1 or 2 second window there where you really kind of have to go.
She represents Region 4, which includes Iowa, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, and Wisconsin.
A lot of skills packed into this routine. She doesn't maybe have the confident aggressiveness that we've seen in some of the other athletes, but she's got this very steady way about her. She thinks about the skill before she does it. And this routine has been very clean. Here's her big flight move, back handspring step out, beautiful layout to 2 feet, not piked down, so she'll get all the credit for it. Finishing up with a nice high double full twist, holding on to that landing as much as possible.
9.475, great score for Lucy Meyer. To the bars now, Alicia Musser, the 13-year-old born in Brentwood, Tennessee, moved to Colorado Springs area to be coached by the famous Colorado aerial team of coaches, which includes J.C. Phelps, your Olympic teammate. Shannon?
And J.C.'s done a terrific job. You can see her step onto the mat to spot an upcoming release move right here. Full pirouette to a nice Takacha, reverse hecht, and just misses it.
Another full on a reverse hecht today.
So many bar falls today, a lot of them on release moves. But, you know, I think it's good that so many of the girls are actually performing the release moves to fall on. They're getting that experience right now.
Good point. She was a junior international elite, chose to go level 10 because there are more competitions for level 10 junior Olympic athletes just to get some experience.
And that's a great way to do it. You have to get experience. I remember competing almost every weekend just so that I could get the feel of it and get the nerves out and just understand what all the competition was about.
7 kids in her family, 4 sisters, 2 of them coach at the gym. Very talented young lady.
Very talented, and this is an unfortunate fall coming up right here, reverse hecht, and it just looks like she went over to the backside of the bar a little too far, wasn't able to reach forward enough to grab that bar.
Alicia Musser, 8.975 on the bars. Alyssa Say, the 12-year-old out of Glen Allen, Virginia, coming up next. She is at River City Gymnastics. Pete Pidco and Holly Hamblin are her coaches there.
Opening up, not the most difficult opening pass, but very clean, a double tuck. And again, the judge is looking for more than just powerful tumbling and dance moves. They want to see that presentation. Can you dance? Can you really engage the audience? That's what's going to have to happen in international competition.
It's really interesting. You see some young ladies that really connect with the audience. How was it for you, Shannon, to figure out a way to connect with the audience and the judges?
You know, it took me a little bit, obviously, to find that connection, but I think once you find it, you enjoy the floor routine a lot more because you're able to play to the audience and draw them in and feel like there's, you know, it's almost like a little skit, a little play, and you're able to do that. And of course, when you don't have as much power in the tumbling, you have to make it up in other areas.
Her first score on the balance beam was an 8.7. Expect a little higher score on the floor for that performance.
Here we see some good moves on floor. It just maybe needed some cleaning up a little bit more in the performance area to get the judges, get the audience involved.
9.15 for Alyssa Say. Okay, to the vault quickly. Sarah Persinger, one of our top stars of the meet.
Big big, strong run. Wow.
Did she stick that?
Performing the Phelps vault, named after J.C. Phelps, but man, it's tough to land those forward-moving vaults, and she just nailed it.
Look at the speed in the run.
Huge vault.
She said this is her favorite event, 9.75. Sarah Persinger out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Next up on the bars is Jordan Williams. We asked her how she got involved in gymnastics.
Originally, my mom had put me in ballet, and she had told me that it didn't burn out all my energy. So then she had put me in gymnastics, and I guess that worked.
The 13-year-old from Rancho Cucamonga, California, trains with Tim Garrison at Sega Gymnastics.
Starting out this routine with nice handstands, good angles, tight form. Full pirouette giants going the wrong way.
She says her favorite thing about gymnastics is flying through the air and leaving the world behind.
Well, gymnastics is perfect for that. Not the most difficult routine, but what she did very well. Clean landings, clean throughout. Here, setting up for her double tuck dismount.
And a 9.025 for Jordan Williams.
We'll be back with more of Rotation 2 right after this.
Welcome back inside the Cox Arena here in Oklahoma City. Action continues in the second of 4 rotations in these Junior Olympic National Championships. Casey Gassaway from Nadenoff's Gymnastics in Vancouver, Washington, set to go on the floor.
Starts off fast, strong run into her first tumbling pass. Got a nice smile going. Looks like she's having a good time out there.
She's nicknamed Popeye because she's so strong. Her favorite gymnast is Carly Patterson, although she says a highlight of her life was meeting Shannon Miller in Cancun last year.
Oh, no. That's very sweet.
This is her 3rd trip to the Junior Olympic Nationals.
Well, she definitely has some experience, doing very well throughout this competition. Catching a little bit of some rest before that last tumbling pass. Pretty easy to get winded in a minute and a half of floor exercise. Constant jumping and moving around.
Not a bad performance for Casey Gassaway.
Coming up on this tumbling pass. Nice 2.5 twist punch front. Holds on to that landing really well.
She'll be happy with that 9.4. Clicking to the vault, Jessica Staples.
Another Yurchenko, a Yurchenko layout. Again, not the high difficulty as some of the other vaults, but a stuck landing. There's going to be not much area for deduction.
9.275 for Jessica Staples out of Cincinnati Gymnastics. Nice crowd on hand here at the Cox Arena. Jordan Weaver will be next. A lot of people excited about this young lady, just 10 years of age. Look at the run, she's fast.
Tiny but so powerful. Huge vault for her. Yurchenko full twist. Pretty good landing.
A laid out position for such a tiny young lady.
And she looks so much higher off the horse. She's so tiny.
She was our leader after the first rotation. Expect a strong score, 9.525 for Jordan Weaver. Kalia McCartney will be next on the floor. We asked her how she got involved in gymnastics.
I was homeschooled when I was little, and so I didn't have any PE. So my mom decided to put me in gymnastics for like a little rec program for like exercise. And then my coach, Erica, found me and wanted me on her pre-team. Then I moved on from there.
The 13-year-old out of Vancouver, Washington, set to go on the floor.
gymnastics certainly was a great way to get some exercise. Her dance, her fingers, everything from her toes to her hands. She pays so much attention to detail. It's beautiful. Not too bad at the tumbling either.
You can really tell some of these young ladies who have a dance background, or certainly their gymnastics coaches have made it a priority in the gym. The quality of her movement is very nice.
It is. It's very elegant. You can tell she's comfortable performing, having a good time. It's beautiful.
How much of your day was dedicated to ballet technique and training?
Well, I was in ballet and did a lot of dance before I started gymnastics when I was younger, but then we, of course, focused on dance while we were training and did an hour of ballet, usually a few times per week. It's really something that can make a difference. If you think about someone like Svetlana Horkina, who maybe wasn't the strongest tumbler, she wasn't going to throw a double layout, but she had such gorgeous dance. She just raked in the gold medals.
Kalia McCartney, lovely performance.
But she don't want to lose sight of her tumbling. She did a great job throughout this floor routine. Here's her front tumbling pass, front full, punch tuck front.
And her score of a 9.35 for Kalia McCartney. That concludes the first half of this competition.
Here are the standings after the first two rotations of the meet. The leader is Jordan Weber with a 19.175. Sarah Persinger is in second. Petra Matthews in third. The top three separated by just 0.2 of a point. Shannon?
Thanks, Bart. Well, that concludes our show for today. Join us next week for the conclusion of the 2006 U.S. Women's Junior Olympic National Championships. I'm Shannon Miller. See you next week.